T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
Oh, what is going on, party people? What up, Tag Nation? It's your boy ScooterRay, aka #Justice for Scoot, because I still want my match. I was screwed over. I still want my match for the Tag Predictions Championship at Tag Mania, and I'm not getting it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't made a big enough fuss. I haven't made a big enough ruckus to get what's deserved, to get what I deserve. And that's a chance to be the 13th time predictions champion. But we ain't here for that. We here for this NXT Tuesday night. This is the go home show for NXT Vengeance Day, which is Saturday / preview show. So I'm gonna kind of interweave both of them. I'm gonna interweave NXT tonight and talk about the show Saturday. And I know you can't see this handsome face, but you can hear this beautiful voice because I'm having internet issues and your boy ain't trying to look like a giant pixel. So you're gonna have to just bear with just audio. I'm sorry. Just deal with some audio. You know, you can go do some things while you listen to the tones of ScooterRay. Yeah, a little bit of ASMR for you. But the night kicks off with Bayley versus Cora Jade. Now, Bayley had just qualified for the Women's Elimination Chamber last night against Lyra Valkyria. So she's like, hey, you can put your girl anywhere at any time, and I'm showing up. Hey, so she shows up against Cora Jade, and they having a fairly decent match. Now, one thing I'm enjoying with this, I'm enjoying that Bayley, who's like one of the vets of the vets at the moment, especially on the men and women side, I'm liking how she's going down there to NXT to tangle with tangling with Bayley, to tangle with Cora, to tangle with Julia, and to tangle with Roxanne, because I feel like these are all auditions. I feel like this is like that final step for especially Cora and Roxanne to be like, hey, if Bayley say you good per se, you're good. You're in. You're gonna be drafted pretty soon, whether it's going to be Raw or SmackDown, you're going to be there. And these ladies actually, to start the night off, it was not a bad match at all. I enjoyed seeing it. I appreciate the fact that Cora didn't seem like she was nervous or seem like, it was like, oh no, I'm going to get, what I'm saying? Like, it was that, I'm having a match in NXT against Bayley, and I'm going to do the damn thing. Well, midway during the match, we hear the old theme song of Bayley back when she was the hugger. And who comes out in her best cosplay? Roxanne Perez. Yes, Roxanne comes out in her best Bayley cosplay to distract. And the distraction eventually worked because Cora picked up the W. Yeah, Cora Jade gets the W over Bayley. Then we see Julia back there talking to Ava. Ava comes out and says, hey, due to the events of what happens, Vengeance Day is now a fatal 4-way. We're going to get Julia defending against Roxanne Perez against Bayley, and now Cora Jade has been added to the mix. Ooh, and Roxanne was not happy because Roxanne is like low-key hating, because Roxanne is like, she's supposed to be the quote-unquote homie, but I still want to be 3-time champ. Bailey is like, hey, I'm just trying to cement legacy. Cora is like, I want to finally become champ. I'm getting tired of these little pot shots. I'm getting tired of, not being a singles champ because she was tag champ for like a brief second till she betrayed Roxanne. But she's like, I want a title. I want to be NXT Women's Champ. So we will see come Vengeance Day. And once again, Julia is defending in a fatal four way. And I'm excited. Like, I don't know if you could truly hear it in my voice, but when I tell you I am looking forward to Vengeance Day, I am looking forward to Vengeance Day as I was with Royal Rumble 2 weeks ago. I am ready for Vengeance Day. This seems like this may be a great first PLE for NXT and possibly the start of some bangers of a PLE, if I'm being honest with you. Like, totally being honest. Then next up, we had a segment of Zarya and Soul back there talking about how they got a tag team match against the Meta Girls and this, that, and the third. And then Nikita overhears it. And then Nikita is like talking her trash. And then basically her and Zarya are going to settle it in the ring later on that night. Next up, we get a segment between Big Oba. He comes out there talking his talk, basically saying that he knows he's pretty much in a 2-on-1 handicap match, but he don't care. Excuse me. He don't care because he knows at the end of the day, Big Oba is still gonna walk out big champ. And then of course, A-Town Down Under comes out there. They're talking their talk, and Austin was kind of hyping up Grayson by saying, hey, this man has done so much in NXT. He's jumped off ladders. He's done this. He's done that. He's not getting his due. And then, they kind of hype up each other. But then when they kind of talk about themselves, both of them keep mentioning how they're going to be the NXT champion. So it was causing a little discourse. But ultimately, it led to A-Town Down Under jumping on Oba. And of course, we know Vengeance Day, Oba is defending against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. It's a triple threat. So maybe, just maybe, this finally is the time where A-Town Down Under possibly go ahead and implode. They've been teasing their little breakup for some time now. So it would not surprise me that, hey, it may come to head come Saturday with Vengeance Day. So we shall see. Then we get a segment. It was told in two different parts, but I'm going to say it all together. There was a doctor who was there basically saying that, hey, Javon Evans had some serious damage to his jaw, but his recovery was faster than expected. So yes, he is cleared to wrestle, but due to the fact that he is cleared to wrestle, if he suffers any damage like that to his jaw again, his timeline could be even longer, possibly taking him out of wrestling altogether. And then Javon was back there talking to Ava, and he was like, you heard what the doc said. The doc said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm great. Shout out to the weekend. And Ava was like, yeah, but think about it. He thought about it for like a hot second. He signed the contract. Then, of course, later on in the show, they showed the Ethan Page segment. And Ethan Page was like, yeah, see, the problem is what I did to you and your jaw before, I'm going to just completely just obliterate it. So that way, I don't have to worry about you no more. So, yeah, it is officially on Vengeance Day, Javon Evans, Ethan Page. So we shall see how it goes down. And we should see what kind of tactics Javon is going to use to kind of, stay away from the aspect of getting his jaw damaged. Now, they haven't made a new graphic yet, but there was a segment with Eddie Thorpe, and Eddie Thorpe was basically like, "Yeah, I did what I did, but how about we finish it at Vengeance Day? Trick Williams, I'm challenging you to a strap match." Later on in the show, Trick Williams was like, "Oh, let's do it. Hey, oh, let's do it." I mean, he didn't say that, but I had to say, I got to add my little flavor on it. Flavor on it. But yeah, so um they haven't made a graphic yet, but at Vengeance Day, we will get a strap match between Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe. And I remember saying that last week that I feel like they were saving room on the card to have this match, but they hadn't made a graphic yet, so that's why you don't see it plastered on the screen. So next up, we get a triple threat match to basically determine the number one contenders against Fraxium. We get the team of Hank and Tank, No Quarter Catch Cruz, Tavion Heights, and Miles Bourne, and the team of Yoshiki Inamura and Josh Briggs. And hey, as I like to say, this was a beefy boy brawl. Hey, I don't know if y'all feel the same way I feel, and it's cool, but I really enjoy watching Hank and Tank. They are just they're like the fun tag team that you get behind. Cause I remember saying this before. They're gonna be that fun tag team. If they keep that spirit and charisma, especially when they move up, they're gonna be a fun tag team to watch. Cause Hank and Tank, they just go out there, just be beating up on people, slamming people, throwing their bodies everywhere. And once again, with Hank and Tank and Inamura and Briggs, them some beefy boys already. And then, of course, you throw in the athleticism of Heights and Bourne. And this was actually a pretty good little triple threat. Like, I was not mad at this match at all. Like, these 6 men went out there and did the damn thing. Like, it was something to see. If you've been following along with NXT, or if you haven't, but Fraxium is being built as that tag team of tag teams, which is totally fair. Had I known that piqued interest, I wouldn't be betting against Fraxium as much. But Inamura and Briggs have been like, "Hey, Fraxium, y'all been ducking and dodging us. What's up with that?" No, sorry. What's up with that? In the words of Hurricane Helms. And Briggs and Inamura pick up that dub. Now I will say this. That frog splash Inamura does off the top rope as his finisher, the way he kind of crouches on the top turnbuckle and get that momentum to kind of spring himself up, and just him coming down on top of you. Pause. But yeah, that is a devastating frog splash. But yeah. So Fraxium was out there and they was like, "Hey, y'all won. Congratulations, finally. But you know what? We ain't gotta wait. Vengeance Day. Let's do it." And I'm covering Inamura's face by accident. But Vengeance Day, let's do it. Fraxium, Axiom, and Nathan Frazier against Briggs and Inamura for them tag team championships at Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day is shaping up to be a show, people. I don't know how y'all realizing, I don't know if y'all not realizing, but Vengeance Day is shaping up to be a good ass show. We get the family in the back talking, the D'Angelo family in the back talking, because Tony D is defending his North American Championship against Ridge Holland in a cage match for the main event. So the family is back there talking, and Izzy Dane is, I guess, at this point, she's with them. You know, she's with him, I guess. Eh. So they was basically kind of hyping Tony up about the match, and basically Tony was like, you know, I got to do it by myself because I'm in a cage and this, that, and the third. But they was like, Tony, we know you got this, big dog. We know you got it. And then we get a match between the system. So sorry, TNA wrestler JDC, who's part of the system. And yeah, for those who know, JDC was formerly known as Fandango. But now he's a TNA wrestler going by JDC, Johnny Dango Curtis, going against Lexus King for the Heritage Cup. And remember when I told y'all last week, the Heritage Cup, Lexus King was like, nah. Those rules were the old rules. My rules is that everything is going to be a fall to a finish. No more rounds, no more corner men, one fall, and that's it. And once again, like I mentioned, if this is what they might do with the Heritage Cup going forward, that whoever has the cup can, in essence, make their own rules, I'm here for it. For real. I am here for it. But yeah, and once again, King and JDC had a fairly decent match. And when I tell you that the false finishes was there, because there was many times JDC was pulling out all the stops. He even hit his patented top rope leg drop. And when he tried to go for it again, that's when it got reversed. And then King hit the top rope coronation because he had him kind of draping over the top turnbuckles, hit the coronation 1, 2, 3, and still that boy Lexus King. And it was like, oh, we out here today. Like, we doing it today. And they didn't have a match graphic because, of course, the match was introduced mid-show. But then we get the match between Zarya, accompanied by Sol Ruka, versus Nikita Lyons. It was an okay match, especially for something that was, you can't see the quotations, put together. It wasn't a bad match. I don't know what they're doing with Nikita at the moment. Like, Nikita is in a very unique spot because it's like, what are we trying to do with Nikita here personally? Like, are we trying to build her up to be called up? Is she kind of just floundering around NXT at the moment? Like, what's the situation that we doing with Nikita? You know what I'm saying? Because Zarya gets the W. Like, Zarya gets the dub, and yeah. Yeah. And it did come up in the show, but of course the other match to mention, we do have for the Women's North American Championship, Fallon Henley will defend against Stephanie Vacour. And it was a moment where Stephanie was talking to Julia, and Stephanie is telling Julia, like, hey, I'm gonna get this belt off of Fallon. And there's only one thing, there's only one way to go from here. And that's for that championship. So it will not surprise me. It truly would not surprise me that Stephanie possibly gets that North American Championship and they do title for title and Stand and Deliver. Stephanie versus Julia, title for title. Because now we can officially say one woman will be the first, of course, to hold both North American and NXT Women's Championship at the same time. So it will not surprise me that Stephanie gets that belt and her and Julia have a title for title at stand and deliver. But of course, those are my thoughts. So hey, And right before, well, hold on, we get a segment of Mr. Chase. He's backstage, and KO Dixon, he's kind of talking to him again, basically saying that I don't know if he's trying to get Mr. Chase to resurrect Chase U or what, but there was another guy who I'm assuming he must have been up and coming, Uriah Connors, and they was like, yeah, Mr. Chase, you should come out and party with us. And he was like, it's a school night. And then he was like, oh yeah, I don't have a school anymore. And of course, he's down. So it seems like Connors and Dixon is trying to resurrect Chase U, I guess. I don't know. But before the cage match, there's a disturbance in the crowd. And there's a gentleman with a microphone who's talking about a revolution, who's talking about, if this is the hottest brand, then I need to be on there. I don't even think it's been on full 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. One Richard Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, came and basically saying, I'm coming to NXT to turn it upside down. If this is the hottest brand, your boy wants to be a part of it. And I'm screaming. Yeah, I was like legit screaming because it was like, the man's was just released. This is some Lex Luger shit. How Lex Luger was on Raw and Nitro at the same time, damn near. Now, granted, Ricky hadn't been on AEW TV in like, yeah, it's been that long. Like, I really don't remember the last time he was on AEW TV. Like, it was sometime last year. I just don't remember when. Like, I feel like after when him and Big Bill lost the tag team titles, I think he might have had like 1 or 2 more matches, and that was it. And I know he tried to show up in other promotions. I know he showed up in Defy. I know he showed up in House of Glory. But other than that, Ricky just been kind of just hitting in the tuck. But hey, Ricky Starks, he's here. Now, funny enough, none of the commentators mentioned him by name, but they was mentioning him. So I hope they're not trying to change his name. I hope they keep it Ricky Starks because that's what we know him as. But we'll see, because they never said his name. They never said his name, which I thought was weird. Like, it was like, y'all acting as if like, like he's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like he like did some type of old school Scott Hall situation where it was like, yeah, I'm invading. Nah, it was clear. He had a microphone. There was no security guards trying to chase him, get him out of there. So I don't know. I thought it was weird that none of the commentators mentioned him by name. So it makes me wonder, are they going to change his name, or maybe they just wanted to keep that anonymity, I guess. I don't know. But yes, absolute Ricky Starks is absolutely in NXT. I know y'all like how I did that. It's cool. I got you. Main event for the North American Championship. You got Tony D'Angelo defending against Ridge Holland in a cage match. Now, they did this cage match as you can only win by pinfall or submission, so escaping the cage won't mean anything. And, in the words of Big E, this was big meaty men slapping meat. Like, these guys was in there just hitting each other. And it's like, I don't know if I want to take any of those hits. Like, the way they was throwing each other into the cage, even the slams seemed like they had more malice in it and everything. But these gentlemen went out there and had them a secondary. It was a second beefy boy brawl. But this was definitely big meaty men slapping meat. And the closing moments of this match, Izzy Dane pulls out a crowbar. She tries to slide it in the ring, but Stax stops her. Then Stax grabs the crowbar, slides it in the ring. So I don't know if the timing was off when Izzy was trying to slide it, or it wanted to make it, or was it like Stax trying to get the credit for it? Like, I don't know. It was kind of a weird little moment there. But Tony D and Ridge was fighting over the crowbar. Ridge headbutts Tony D, starts whacking him with the crowbar. He puts it on his wrist, clotheslines Tony D with it. Didn't work. Tony D eventually hits Ridge with the crowbar, and I think he hit his finisher. I can't remember, but ultimately 1, 2, 3, Tony D retains. And the moment Tony D retains, Ridge basically, not necessarily instantaneous, but he gets up and starts beating up on Stax and Luca, and they fight to the back. So that left Rizzo, Izzy, and Tony D inside the ring, and Spears, Nico, and oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. Brooks. It was Brooks because he has a last name for a first name. So Brooks, Spears, and Nico get into the ring, and Izzy has the crowbar. Izzy hits Tony D in the leg. Then she beats up on Rizzo. Then the three men beat down Ridge. Beat down Tony D. Where there was a chair in the ring, Spears had to resort to his chairman days. So he starts, beating down Tony D with the chair. And then they set up the chair to where Spears hits a middle rope C4. Luca and Stax tried to come in and they smacked the cage with the chair. So that way, it hits them in the finger. So they jump off. So they're watching in horror like, no, don't do it. And then next thing you know, he hits that C4 off the middle rope onto that chair. So it would not surprise me now. That Shawn Spears is definitely going to be the one to get that North American Championship. But at the same time, since the sides are even, what they really should do, they should do like a faction fight. You have 3 men and a lady versus 3 men and a lady. Let them just have them a good old fashioned faction fight. I don't know how you're going to do it, in what capacity, but just have a faction fight. Book it. But yeah, that was NXT. So in between NXT having a pretty damn good go home show, and then them having Vengeance Day on Saturday, and I totally messed up. After the beatdown, they were showing a Vengeance Day vignette, and the show once again ended teasing this new 4-man faction. And they supposed to debut on Vengeance Day. And I've been trying to figure out, when are these gentlemen going to debut? Are they going to debut to kind of mess up somebody's match? Are they going to just debut just to debut? But I'm intrigued to see these 4 gentlemen and, what kind of faction this is supposed to be. But that was technically the end of NXT. But yeah, I'm excited about Vengeance Day, y'all. I'm excited. So, of course, y'all definitely going to get that hot tag when it comes to Vengeance Day, because your boy is ready. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, like, share, subscribe. tag that notification bell so that way you can be notified for when we post NXT.A.G, tier list, hot tags, anything of that nature. Shout outs to the tag prediction champion and the tag in the bank holder, Lip Dizzle. Shout outs to Juggernaut 097 and Jaeger Bombastic, the heartthrob of T.A.G. And thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, justice for Scoot. Hashtag justice for Scoot. I want my opportunity. I just want my opportunity. But it's cool. I'll find it one way or another. Thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, love one another, love yourself, take care of one another, and take care of yourself. God bless the Eagles. Go Birds. Super Bowl champs. And don't forget to tag out. Peace.